All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the game series here. We've got the StarLadder NA qualifiers, DC versus Thundercats in this best of three. DC taking game one. I am your play-by-play Spruce Moose, and with me is Forge Dota. You want to walk us through the bans so far in this second game?
Well, so far nothing too different from what we had last time. The only adjustment being the IX Mike Enchantress will no longer be allowed in the game. It was way too annoying to deal with. He was just farming behind the tier 1 tower at one point. So other than that, everything's pretty similar. We have the Chen, we have the Dark Willow, Sand King, and the Tiny. Uh, and even the Tusk going to get picked up first by Thundercats again. The one difference, actually, though, other than the Enchantress as well, is actually the Naka Siren going to get focused out, which is interesting because it got completely ignored and left the IO in, which
Oh,
DC will immediately take
that's a
as
quick
their
two
dual
picks. Yeah.
offlane. So this is, I want to say, almost 100% going to be a dual offlane. Beastmaster kind of fell off a little bit. People figured out how to abuse him in lane, which is why we haven't seen him so much anymore. But a resurgence has been there now with the return of the IO Beastmaster off lane. IO just enabling him to stay in lane, be a lot bigger bully, spam those axes even more, and just be incredibly annoying. So really
Go with
looking forward
the
to
dual offlane, aggressive offlane. It's either normally you see the IO or it's either the Kotal as well. You can just pair in with the Chakra Magique. Just keep resetting that Beastmaster and just throw those axes and hit people in the face.
yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, he could be run in some of the other lanes. You know, we could see maybe like an IO mid pair or even IO safe lane pair, but I think most likely it's going to be that IO Beastmaster in that top lane, or I guess in the bottom lane now that DC has switched sides.
I think so, yeah. See EG running a similar sort of strat a lot with great success. As Beastmaster having some of the highest GPMs going. Pro history of Beast. It's going to be a quick DK second pick.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot better than what they had last game. I mean, DK is just one of those heroes that is really hard to kind of deal with. Like, yeah, you can grab Magic Burst, but even still, he's going to be really annoying to deal with. You really need somebody like a Zeus or even a Shadow Fiend to properly deal him out of lane. With some good bans, he can still be very annoying. OD, another actually very
Yeah.
good hero against the Dragon Knight, so very sensible ban from Thundercats.
I like the DK as well because we've seen him picked up in multiple lanes. And it's kind of like that Death Prophet, right? Traditionally, the mid hero, see them transition into the off lane quite often. I know Mind Control likes to play the DK. Even we see some teams like Vici Gaming, they quite often run like the safe lane DK comboed up with another tanky core like the Alk or the.
Yeah, or like a life stealer, some kind of like burst
Yeah.
heavy physical damage dealer. Yeah, DK definitely, like you said, like one of those heroes that can be played in the mid most often. But if you want to, hey, you want to throw him in the off lane because your matchup's not looking good, throw him in the off lane. Hey, you got other cores that can, take the lanes and bully, throw him in the safe lane. Like he's DK. He's gonna stay in the lane. He's gonna get his farm. He's gonna push the towers. That's all you really need him for.
Yeah. The whole concept of dead lanes, right? You just gotta plonk him there. He's not gonna really kill you. You're not really gonna kill him. He's just gonna sit there and farm,
Yeah,
regardless of anything going on.
yeah. I do like this Phantom Lancer band coming out though from DC. When you have this IO and you have this Beastmaster, IO, very susceptible to getting run down, very susceptible to the physical damage, and Beastmaster single target hero. So already the Terrorblade and the PL, two very kind of like AOE heroes that you don't necessarily have the control or the damage for.
You've also got the great gap close ability on the PL with the Phantom Rush.
Yeah, yeah. So two very very nice bands. I wouldn't be surprised even if we maybe see something like the CK get banned out, just in case, just to cover all the bases. We'll see if maybe Thundercats want to grab it. But actually,
Surprised he made it
Gyrocopters,
that far. Yeah, Gyrocopter.
what a hero! I
Hmm.
like you said, I was surprised he made it this far. I had actually kind of just assumed he was already banned. I'd
Yeah, I think we
forgotten
just kind
about
of
him.
forgot about him because we never get to see him because he's always banned or first picked.
Yeah, but he does make it through, and with this IO backing him up, is going to be very very scary. Going to be really hard to burst this guy down. Um, and Bane, I mean, like I get where they're going with it, but as long as you like as long as the IO has good positioning and these team fights are sitting behind his gyrocopter, Fiend's Grip comes out on the gyro, you relocate him out, and there you go. Gyro's safe. He comes back in full health, full mana, and that team fight gets completely turned around.
Yeah, a lot of single target focus again from Thundercats this game. You Warriors Punch, the Dragon Tail from the DK, the Bane.
Oh,
Oh, that's a hero I haven't seen in a while.
yeah,
How he's special though.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely an owie hero. Um, I'm interested to see what these lanes are going to look like now, because you could run the IO with the Beastmaster, but you could also run like the Skywrath with the Beastmaster and just be like super aggro annoying against
You think it could even
that
be
safe lane.
the mid-core Sky Mage to deal with the DK? Because like we are saying, they've banned out the OD, they've banned out the Shadow Fiend. Good laning counterparts against the DK. We just go for the Sky Mage for that similar magical burst.
It could. It would be one of the weaker ways to deal with it because he's very susceptible to getting roamed on by the Tusk. You have no way to escape if you get shards, if you get snowballed, like you're just dead. So, I mean, it would be a way to deal with the DK, but it's a very exploitable way to deal with the DK. So we'll have to see how they want to do with it. It's most likely going to be the support, but if they feel they can run it safely, they could run it mid.
It's the Jugger. I like that. It's the hero we see quite often picked up against the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, you've got
that magic damage as well. From the range, you can just kind of run at him and Omni Slash.
Yeah, single target burst and the spin to win to deal with all the magic damage. You've got the healing ward to help keep your team alive against the flak cannon, which is really going to be nice. Because I mean, you have this overcharged gyro that's going to be running at your Bane, and Dragonite's going to be tanky, so he's not going to care. But
I mean, as supports go, Bane Tusk, they're a pretty tanky support pair. A lot of EHP on Bane. Also, it's a Brain Sap, of course.
Yeah, as long as he can get Brain Sap off, that's the big if though, right? If he doesn't get Brain Sap off, he's just as squishy as most other supports. We'll have to see what they grab next. It looks like they're going to need their offlaner for Thundercats. So the bans are going to come out for DC. I think something like a Tide could be okay. They could maybe go for that Brewmaster again on the side of Thundercats. So maybe we'll see that get banned out by DC.
Mm.
And they're actually going to go for the Omni Knight. I like this as well. GA very annoying against the Gyro. Repel as well.
Yeah, another hero that quite surprised to see it as a last ban. It normally gets banned out in a much earlier phase.
He's kind of moved his way down the totem pole. I'd say a month or so ago, I would definitely agree with you, but he's kind of moved his way down. There's more important things you need to ban, like the Gyro, the Tinker, the Lunas. So I'm not too surprised. The Death Prophet, wow, that's a hero I'm surprised actually made it through.
Yes, they think it is that support Sky Mage. And yeah, with IO as well, backing up the DP. Yeah, pretty reasonable ban.
And just one of those heroes that can set a very nice pace with the gyrocopter. I'm going to go push over here, you farm over there. They're going to have to only deal with one of us. Either they lose an objective or you get a lot of space. So very nice synergy there between the two.
Got another quite early mid-tempo sort of game build up here. Beastmaster Gyro. See, I imagine they'll try and pick up another tempo mid. Oh, we see the Underlord for fun. Okay.
Yeah, so just extra tank against the gyrocopter. I would kind of like to see a Doom for DC, to be honest. But I guess safe lane Doom isn't a thing anymore. That would be so nice though.
I love the Gyro mid.
Yeah. I love Doom against these tanky strength heroes. You get the Dragonite Underlord, hit him with that Infernal Blade, and they just melt. But with that Beastmaster, very unlikely. So
they'll go for like a Ursa or a Monkey King maybe, just to get that early game laning matchup.
Monkey King, I think more likely than Ursa. Ursa generally considered a pretty trash tier hero. Picked up very, very situationally against like Huskar, Alchemist, which are also pretty much out of the meta. So I don't think we're gonna see the Ursa Bear. Monkey King possible, laning well against the Underlord. Would put the Gyro mid against the DK. So What else could they do? Quap's pretty much out.
I mean, it's still got pucks in the pool.
Puck's
Don't know
okay,
if
but that
I
leaves you kind of with a single core.
okay
So they're gonna run the life stealer instead. Okay.
mid gyro then.
Yeah. So mid gyro up against the Dragon Knight, and then put Ritsu up against the Underlord. I think this makes sense. You've got a little bit of magic damage to deal with the Dragon Knight. Can be able to at least trade farm, and Lifestealer can have the Infest Bomb with the Beastmaster. Potentially,
Yeah,
you have a 4-man gank pretty much globally, right? You have the IO that can relocate at the Gyrocopter. Somebody gets roared by the Beastmaster, Lifestealer hops out, and boom, 4-man gank.
for sure. Sure. Draft wise though, how you think? I think this game's a lot more balanced in the draft. No magical spider coming out this time to win you the draft.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna give the edge still to DC. I just think they have much clearer lines of engagement, what needs to happen.
I think so. Yeah.
They still kind of lack an initiator on Thundercats. It's pretty much like a blink or a shadow blade on the DK.
You've got Tusk as well for the early game ganks, but like when you start getting towards those mid team fights, yeah, it's a bit
Yeah,
lacking.
that's the thing. I always look for into the mid game, like talking about draft advantage. I look for who has a good way to start the fights, because right now that's what a lot of the meta is these two teams, just kind of staring at each other and who has the easier way to start the fight. And right now you've got Blink, Beastmaster, Roar, with really, really good follow-up both from the Lifestealer as well as the Gyrocopter. So I'm going to give a little bit of an edge to DC. I want to say like 55-45, maybe 60-40.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I think it's going to be the IO Beastmaster setting state of this game for game 2 here. But if you are joining the stream, guys, welcome. I'm your play-by-play Spruce Moose. With me, Forge Dota on the analyst, and we have DC here versus Thundercats game 2 for the StarLadder NA qualifiers. Game 1 going to DC. Let's see if they can make it a clean streak and go 2-0, or if Thundercats can take one back and force this to a game 3.
I would love a game 3. I think Thundercats showed like they have the potential to take a game off of DC. Definitely not a team I'm very familiar with, but they played very, very well against the stack, and I think it was really just that Broodmother that threw that wrench in their gears last game.
I think so.
They have the potential
Yeah,
to take this.
They took some pretty nice fights, and the movement was good. They just a complete outdraft, I think, in the first game. Anything else?
Yeah, just very, very well recognized Broodmother game by DC. And Ritsu just farming like a madman. What was it? It was like 10k at 9 minutes or something like that. Insane.
Yeah, 8-minute Orchid with Medallion.
Yeah. 12-minute Deso on top of that. It was nuts. So it looks like we're going to just get a rune trade. 2 for 2.
Danking very deep here on the IO. Just scouting. Do you think he's going to try and go for the... Oh.
He wants to go for the pull, but DK is standing very far back trying to make sure that doesn't happen. And IO, not one of those squishy heroes that can just kind of get away with it.
Thinking about it, but I don't know if he's going to make it now. Ward spotted there by the Bane, plopping it down. Finds himself in the Roshan pit, but will be spotted out thanks to this Observer already placed down. Side of the Radiant here.
Does he have the Sentry ready, or he's gonna chuck the Enfeeble? Oh no, he's
gone for the Brain Sap. Okay, so that would make for sad mid lane just to Enfeeble the Gyro. He always has pretty low base damage anyway, and you're not gonna be hitting anything.
Yeah, he would have 18 damage if he had the Enfeeble. So last inning's basically impossible.
How do you feel this mid matchup goes, Gyro versus DK? Not one I see too often. Additionally,
one-on-one, I would think the Gyro pulls a little bit ahead just because of rocket spam with the rocket barrage as well. But with the Bane sitting here, I definitely think that Bryle's going to have the tougher time.
But they have switched up the lanes then, so we do have this aggressive dual aggro here, IX Mike and Stan King on the I versus... They've got it versus the Underlord, the DK here. So not quite necessarily the lane they wanted, whereas we do have this kind of dual lane versus dual lane up top. Jug, Tusk versus Lifestealer, Sky Mage. And these are some crazy laning matchups. Not what I would have expected, but It kind of makes sense on the side of Thundercats to try and lane this way.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be able to shut down the
Snowball shards there on Ritsu, but I think he should be fine. Gonna waddle his way back towards the tower.
Yeah, the CS is actually getting very, very heavily contested, though. If you look at the Jug as well as the DK compared to the Lifestealer and the Gyro, the CS is definitely in favor of Thundercats right now. 12-2 to the 4-0 of this Gyrocopter in the middle lane is not
It's the help of that Bane, right, in the early stages of that mid lane. Now you see Bane offering his help up top to try and shut down Ritsu as well.
And Coley actually maybe going to go down here.
Oh,
homing missile.
Yeah, with the rocket barrage, Brawl grabs the first blood there versus Kolio. Nicely done. A bit greedy there, trying to grab the rune, but get punished. Arcane rune as well in Gyro. That is not a rune you want to lane against. It's constantly spamming out those missiles, constantly spamming out those rocket barrages. Luckily, he is out of mana, WWD, so he's not going to be able to. Meanwhile, we do see a Snowball into the shards hit up on Ritsu. Juggernaut gets a couple of crits there. He drops low. Ritsu's going to be fine. He's got the 3-1 charges. Now he's here now as well to offer some support. There's a Batango.
He's already burned his salve, though. This is really, really rough for Ritsu. They might have to switch these lanes. They really wanted Ritsu up against the Underlord. But not getting those lanes. And Jug's getting lots and lots of space in this lane.
Again, normally Lifesteal, one of those heroes you traditionally think of as, you know, kind of like an auto lane win, or at least not an auto lane lose, you know, kind of like the DK. He just kind of sits there. Saying that, bottom, do find the kill onto DK here. Not the Dragon Knight, the Underlord. That's not going to get confusing at all, is it?
No, absolutely not.
But 2-0 up on the board for DC. They might not be getting the CS, but they are getting a couple of kills. But Thundercats looking very healthy on the CS for sure. 22-5 on the DK. He's getting beaten down by Brawl in the middle with the rocket barrage. He should be fine. Got a salve ready.
He's got the salve. He's farming really, really well in this lane. This brief fire is really messing with Gyro.
Right, again, it goes down bottom. This combination of stanking IO and the IX Mike Beastmaster, like we talked about in the draft, very, very aggressive, able to spam those axes. They do find another kill there onto the Underlord. Gyro picks up a DD.
That'll really, really help him catch up in the CS. He's so far behind right now. 14-2 to the 29-6 of WWD on this Dragon Knight. Very, very impressive play from this Dragon. He's already got his full treads. Not too bad. Skips the Soul Ring though. Don't know how I feel about that.
DK.
Yeah, I think Soul Ring on Dragon Knight is just like
pretty much mandatory, right?
Well, I mean, it's not even mandatory. It's just so value.
Yeah.
You already have such high HP regen that you don't really care about the health cost, and mana is always good on that hero. So
you get a bonus damage, of course, as well, being a strength hero. Up the double.
Man, Lifestealer is suffering so much compared to game 1. Ritsu last game felt like an unstoppable monster. This game he is 12-4.
WWD, he's in trouble, getting run down here by Brawl and Aoi. Can they find in the Rocket Barrage? Not quite enough. The last hit from Aoi will be, though. And WWD goes down in this melee. 4-0 now to DC. Might be winning CS, but he's not winning on the kills.
Yeah, these kills are going to start to add up really soon. And the creep cutting is actually coming in down bottom. They are pressuring this bottom tower heavily.
Underlord forced back into the jungle.
Yeah, IX Mike definitely going to be the hero that DC needs in order to take these towers.
But the not quite Batman. But see, Aoi in trouble here. Sharded up there by Tusk. Couple of whacks there with the Orb of Venom, but movement speed of the Sky Mage should be enough to get himself away. It actually turns back towards the rune. We'll pick that up as well. There's the tower, already gone. 6 minutes.
Stan King has balls of steel. There was no creep wave, so he was just overcharged. Oh, actually,
Snowball there onto Might. He's fine though. Stan King is here. Like you say, balls of steel. The glowing balls of IO. They're back to try and turn this fight around for IX Might. Throw the axes out there onto the Underlord. Look at that damage. Couple more clicks. He has the one charger to keep him alive a little bit longer, but it's not going to matter in the end. He will drop. Meanwhile, middle, again, DK being dove here by Bryle. The missile is going to connect. No mana. Does have the rocket barrage. He's going to die under the tower. No, the fairy fire pop there by Bryle. He should be fine with the movement speed. Oh.
No, that
last tower hit.
Yeah,
but
this observer ward giving him just enough vision to get that last hit off from the tower, but still worth it for Bryle. He gets the XP.
Sure. 6-1 now, the score. And Beastmaster is not letting up. Siege Cart here on the tier 2. And why should he? As the Roar available, Io and Sky Mage are rotating over. Might look for a kill here on this Underlord.
They're just shutting down DK so much. And Mike actually closing in on that Necro book already. He's got all the components except the recipe.
Middle cooldown comes in with Io as well. WWD, this defensive nightmare, try and keep him alive with the defensive snowball save as well. They throw it back into Bryle. The shards comes out, but WWD dropping low. Will survive with the one charges. Collier now dropping low to the Gyrocopter. Can they charge this? Another tether. Collier, one more right click. Can he survive? He jukes himself through the trees. He himself somehow like pops the salve, but it's not going to be enough. Can they get any more? Diving behind between the towers, trying to find the Bane. Said they turn towards the DK. The brain sap comes out there from the Bane to keep himself a little bit healthy. The missile will connect and will find the kill, and they're going to find all three of them as Ari turns up as well. Couple more right clicks and Bane goes, tries for the defensive nightmare, but it's not going to be enough, and that's a double kill there for Ari. Killing spree. The score now 9-1 with the 3k net advantage, and all this time pressure is on Beastmaster. Actually dropping pretty low in this bottom lane, but he should be fine.
Yeah, and this is what happens when Io gets off to a really strong start. 8 minutes in, he's already got himself his wand, or sorry, just the magic stick, the range wraps, bottle, and his full Urn of Shadows as well, which enables that dive so much.
He's actually just behind the DK in net worth. After all of that, 500 gold behind.
That's insane. And Gyro pulls ahead at the top of this. Lifestealer still suffering a bit. Io actually pulling ahead of his Lifestealer. But that's okay because these two cores for DC are strong enough that they can just make space for Ritsu to catch up later and play this kind of 4 protect 1 style. Ritsu can farm up a bit, maybe participate in some relocate ganks, some roar ganks, and he'll catch right back up.
Sure, it's like a similar thing we saw in game 1, but it was Bryle getting sacked a little bit on the DP. But this time it's Ritsu's turn to take the flak as we're chasing down here onto the Underlord. Axes to cut the trees. Silence there from Ari, though, cancels the Pit of Malice. They don't even need the Roar. They just chop him down with the tether and the bonus move speed and damage there. They find the quick kill.
Ritsu's got to play careful in this top lane, though. Old
Omni
White
slash available.
Looking...
Ooh, Snowball coming through. Rage though with the dodge. Shards flies through to get the other. Here's the relocate. The roll comes through onto the Juggernaut with the Gyrocopter, and they're going to find everybody. What a great rotation there from their Io. Bryle gets a double kill killing spree. 13-1. 5k net advantage now at 9 minutes. This is looking insane from DC this game.
Yeah, and IX Mike has the Necro books online already. He's got the first book recipe coming out. And I mean, it just feels like whatever lane Thunderbirds decide to, or sorry, Thundercats decide to pressure, the other two lanes just run over and do whatever they want. You know, like Gyrocopter is suffering a little bit.
Snowball here onto the task to try and make this work. The spin comes through with the Juggernaut. TP's coming through from the DK. Tusk, he goes down. DK pops his ult, tries to turn this. The sleep is there to hold back Ritsu on the Lifestealer. Can they find him? Juggernaut meanwhile does get the Beastmaster kill, but no, the Infest is there into the Siege Cart. He should be able to run himself away, but space created, I guess. Gyrocopter smashing into this mid-tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, bottom, the Underlord getting punched in the face by Aoi and Io. DK there cleans up the rest of the Necro books, and they try and get their little push of their own into this tier 1 tower up top. But Ritsu, he's sitting in the cart. They can't do anything to him. Are we going to see a setup here with an ILO relocate, you reckon?
I don't think so. He's way too low on HP and mana. If he had Armlet online, I would maybe see it, but he's not really going to be able to do it. Though Aoi is going to TP up, so they may be thinking about it.
Actually, going for a Ring of the Killer on Lifestealer was kind of an interesting build, not one I've seen that often.
He just wants the early stats. That's pretty much all that is.
Fair enough.
And relocate's up in 10 seconds, so Thundercats do have to be careful with no Omni Slash online. They have to always keep in the back of their heads that IX Mike could be there. with the Necrobook and the Roar ready to go on anybody.
I think they're going to make them think about this. They're going to pressure this bottom tier tower here. Okay, if you go, okay, well, you're not going to defend, well, I'll just relocate up and fight you. But it looks like they're going to force them back away from Ritsu instead by being aggressive.
Yeah, this is one of the strengths of IO, right? You very aggressively push this lane. You dare somebody to show up and defend. Somebody has to come and defend.
Snowball on the back line. Seer catches out Ari in the chance here. Colio. But here's the relocate now for IX Might. He has the roll there. Catches the Juggernaut in mid Blade Fury. Can they burst him down? He has the one chance. Keeps himself on the no. He does drop. The Gyrocopter rotating in as well. Brawl now dominating. Finds free. Can they find more? The slow is there onto the Bane. Bane will drop triple kill for Brawl. It's going to be a full team wipe. Can they find this Underlord? Yes, they can. The missile connects and now Ritsu turns the chopper. That's an ultra kill for Brawl on this Gyrocopter. And what else to say? This IO has been all over the map. 8k net advantage now, 3-19 the score. They turn their attention towards this tier 1 tower. They don't have the Beastmaster, but they don't really need him. The creeps are coming in. 2 cores mashing away. It should drop drums pop there by the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, he's going to have his Yasha soon as well. Followed very, very shortly by the SNY, I would imagine. And, I mean, this is Ritsu catching back up. He's got his phase boots online. He's going to slowly make his way back up the net worth. And IO now ahead of every Radiant core except for the Juggernaut.
We do have a rotation coming through. The Nightmare set up onto Ritsu. Tusk coming there. Fiend's Grip there as well. They've got a lot of lockdown. But where's the damage? Tusk comes in. Still level 4. No Warriors Punch available. Brace up there. Ritsu turns on the raise. Turns to fight. Tries to infest inside something. Can he catch it? No, he cannot. The Pit of Malice is there.
Oh.
DK turns up on the Underlord, and they manage to bring him down. That is a good kill. Meanwhile, middle. Ryle finds WWD there on the DK.
And bottom. They found Old White as well.
Oh, as well. That is, yeah, 2 kills on the 2. So you lose Ritsu again, but he's your punching bag this game, but you take down the 2 enemy chords. DC, they're going to be very happy with that trade.
Yeah, and IX Mike, level 2 Necro book. I mean, we keep talking about him both of these games, but he's just performing very, very well. He's getting the things done he needs to be.
Cool. Very close to the Necro 3. After he has this tower, that will pretty much be it. Tier 2 drops ever lower. So they're trying to set up here on Bryle. The Snowball comes forward. So only level 5 on the Tusk. And look at that instant turnaround with the amp damage from Owie and the Rocket Barrage from Bryle. Relocate comes in from the IO, and they're going to drop the ult there onto the Juggernaut as well. He will spin himself away, drops the healing cat. And he should be fine, but bottom, Relocate comes back in there with the Roar. WWD, he's going to go down. Don't even need the cooldown. He dies before it can even hit the floor. And that just shows you how far DK are ahead. You use the ult, you don't even need it.
I mean, that's the power of IO with this Beastmaster, right? Anybody who gets roared is culpable to an immediate IO relocate gank with either the Lifestealer or... I mean, for now it's going to be Bryle on the Gyrocopter, but once this Lifestealer gets some farm, he can very easily do the exact same thing.
Look at set up here, Ritsu. They've got the Fiend's Grip available. Juggernaut is here as well.
He's dead.
In the middle of the creep wave, though. There's a Fiend's Grip through the Rage. Don't know if they have enough damage to bring him down, or do they? The Omni Slash comes through. Can Ritsu get himself out of this? He's juking through the trees, but no, the spin is there from Old White, and they do find the kill on the Lifestealer, and they'll take what they can get, but look at bottom.
What is happening?
They are diving so deep. Colio forced back to the fountain. Fortification used as well, but your tier 3 is dropping. At 15 minutes into this game, Bane comes in with the Brain Sap and the Nightmare to try and set up here for the Tusk. WWD rotates him from the side. They get the stun there onto Io, just trying to bring him down. But he tethers himself away with the creep. Snowball there, Warrior's Punch. They can't even bring down this Io. Brawl holding back everybody else in this drive, but he's dropping low. Here comes Juggernaut with the spin. Drums pop though by DC, trying to run themselves away, but there's the Roar from IX Might to try and disengage. They in fact turn it around with this overcharge from the Io. They manage to turn it around. Brawl doing so much damage. The cat will drop WOD here with the damage coming through. Can they find the Snowball there? No, it's not in time. The Dragonite does go down, as does the Tusk, and somehow everyone in DC is still alive. The Purge there from the Necrobook holding back the Bane, and they find a fourth. The only one standing is this Underlord, but Urax, they are now under attack from IX Mike, and somehow DC, pull through that skin of their teeth.
Io, man. What a hero. Stan King went into that engagement with 10 freaking Urn Shadow charges, and he used 7 of them, plus whatever ones he picked up. So he probably used more than that. But, I mean, you can't focus him down because then the gyrocopter's hitting you. But if you focus down the gyrocopter, he doesn't die because of the IO. And they don't have the damage just immediately burst down this IO, unfortunately, so they lose their axe.
Yeah, I mean, the Stag King, he's playing very, very well on this IO, and now they get a shrine off the top of this as well. Another bonus gold for the team. Jug here just trying to deep push this bottom wave, but I mean, how do Thundercats get themselves back into this game? Just a case of trying to find a lucky pickoff and just, you know, try to hold the high ground. I mean, how can you hold the high ground against this sort of aggression from DC?
I mean, they need more kills on Ritsu. I think that's a perfectly fine use of the time. They've gotten a couple of Fiend's Grip kills on him now. I think if they manage to keep doing that and maybe get the Juggernaut involved, he's going for a Battle Fury, which I mean, I feel like it's a little bit too late for that, but he's already kind of committed, so he's going to
smoke
go for...
though. Thundercats, they're going to look to try and catch somebody out, and it might be Bryle. This would be a massive kill.
If they catch Bryle, this is huge.
Walking uphill, there's the Nightmare to set up. DK pops the ult as well. The sleep is there. IO's coming in. He brings support. Gyrocopter still alive. Bryle turns around with the cooldown. Hittermass has dropped down, holding back 2. IX Mike, though, comes through with the Raw, and Gyrocopter somehow still lives. Bane will drop, trying to rift himself out of here. Is the Underlord. There's too much damage. He goes down. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Ritsu is coming in with Aoi. The Blade Fury there. TP is enough from the Juggernaut to keep himself alive, but Collier will not be so lucky. The slows are there. The damage is there. And once again, IO being the turning point of this game for DC. With the relocate in with IX Mike, with the Raw, they keep the Gyrocopter alive, turn the fight. They bring down 3 heroes of Thundercats, and now they're going to get more. They're going to get the tier 2, and maybe even some tier 3 and some racks in this middle lane.
Yeah, the fresh mech picked up there from Stan King was absolutely massive as well. Keeps Bryle alive, gives enough sustain to IX Mike that, I mean, they try and turn and focus him instead, but they can't. Gyro just barely able to escape because he's so damn speedy, and I don't know, man, I feel like they're too far behind at this point.
Yeah, I agree. They're trying to go for Aoi here, but can they even bring it down? No, they can't. There's a full Greaves actually coming out there from Stan King. Double kill there for Bryle. There's 3, and this might just be GG. I mean, it's 80 minutes into this game, and they are 30 kills behind. 24k net worth. Buybacks come out from everybody apart from the DK, who doesn't have it available. Trying to push them back, but Aoi is there with the silence to hold back the Juggernaut. And it looks like they want to disengage. No, they're going to re-engage. Ritsu pops up the rage here, has his armlet ready. Aoi comes in with the ult, but it's nicely dodged there by the snowball from the Tusk. Runs himself forward with the Bane. Stan King somehow still alive. The Raw now connects onto the Juggernaut. And Ritsu and IX Mike go to town on Jug. He drops down as well. It's a beyond godlike streak now for Bryle as he brings down the other 2 heroes on the other side of that fight. And Stan King somehow once again still alive, and they call it GG 90 minutes into this game. DC will advance to the next round of this StarLadder NA qualifiers. My oh my.
I mean, that was. I think that game is a perfect example of why Thundercats banned the IO in Game 1. I understand why they wanted to ban the Enchantress to follow up after that Game 1. They're like, how bad could the IO be? That's how bad the IO could be.
Stan King MVP for you this game?
Absolutely, 110%. He was everywhere he needed to be, enabled so many kills, kept all of his cores alive. They only managed to get 5 kills after all was said and done, and most of those were just because Stan King wasn't there when those kills were happening.
Actually, Ritsu get hit in the face, really. A couple of times there. Going, it's just the life leader. We're taking half the map instead. 17-1 and 15, though, on Bryle's Gyrocopter.
Yeah, and IX Mike as well. He dies twice there, and both times it was a 4-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
So 100% worth it for him, even though he was giving up good killing sprees. Bryle was there always to clean up, or even though the one time, the first fight there, Ritsu was able to clean up as well. So 100% worth it for IX Mike to die those 2 times, and he played incredibly well this series.
Gyrocopter doing nearly 30k damage in like a 20-minute game. That's insane. Stan King healed for a total of where is it? That's scoreboard. 13k healing. Yeah. Okay. I mean, anything else to say, Forge? Closing words?
To whoever plays DC next, Don't let them have IO. Just don't.
Just don't.
It's not worth it.
There we go. Final words from Forge. Don't let them have IO. All right, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the games. Hope you enjoyed the cast. I have been Spruce Moose, play by play with me, Forge Dota. We'll be back potentially for future games with StarLadder later this week. But for now, that is the end of the stream. I hope you guys had an enjoyable time. Thanks again. Goodbye.